Let us start second lesson, Introduction to DBMS. The full form of DBMS is Database Management System. In this lesson, you are going to learn what is DBMS, advantages of DBMS, what are all the options are there in it. Introduction to DBMS. Data has no meaning in its raw form, but when converted into information, it can easily be interpreted. This generates the need to organize data and transform it into meaningful information. Information. It is most important element in everyone's life. From a child to an old man, a professional to a homemaker, everyone needs information. While going to the school, a child needs a timetable to keep relevant notes and textbooks in the bag. A homemaker also prepare a list of groceries. The old man keep the prescription list with him. So, each and every age group persons need information. To use those information efficiently, we need to organize them. So, it is essential to provide a structure to data which can be achieved with the help of database. So, always the information should be maintained in such a manner that it can easily be presented in a desired format. Let's check what you will learn in this chapter. In this chapter, you will learn about the basic concept related to the database that will help you to cultivate a better understanding of MS Access. The Relational Database Management System from Microsoft Office Suite. We can create n number of database by using MS Access, and that will be available in Microsoft Office Suite. As I said in the last lesson, we have so many application software. Sometimes many applications will come with single package. MS Access is the application. It will be in the Microsoft Office Suite package. We can create database by using MS Access application. What is database? The definition of database is like this. A DBMS is a collection of programs that enables one or more users to create, manage and retrieve information from a database. It acts as an interface between the user and application programs. Database is an integral part of your life. That means every day, knowingly or unknowingly, we will be using database. Everyone likes to maintain his or her personal address diaries wherein one records his or her friends' addresses and telephone numbers. How those informations can be maintained? Now I will give you the example of address diary. Have you ever noticed that how do you maintain your address diaries? Well, you maintain the information alphabetically, and whenever any information is needed, you browse and extract the information quickly. So, when it is maintained in alphabetical order, we can access them quickly. From time to time, you keep on adding the addresses of new friends. Sometimes you even delete and update addresses. All the various operations like adding, updating, deleting, etc. are all the part of database. Assume that you have shifted to other place. You will meet some new people and you have to add their phone numbers in your diary and add their addresses in your diary. So what we have to do there? We have to add some more information. So this database software allows us to edit, update, delete, add up information to it. I will give some more examples for database. A telephone directory, a dictionary, a list of school children and their addresses, a list of grocery items, a catalog in a library, index at the back of the textbook, list of different customers in the bank, etc. So, each of us are maintaining a huge information in our day-to-day life. So, these are all the example of database. I don't know that you are aware of it or not. In the olden days, each and every person in any offices or banks, they were maintaining records manually. That means they were maintaining the records in books. Suppose they had to maintain several information of one person. If one person is working in that company had to maintain his address, phone number, salary details, qualification details. So all those details were written using books. If there were different books for different information of that person, if the person leaves the company, all the information of that person had to be erased. And if any other employee changes his place, then that information had to be updated. And it had to be done separately in all related files. These issues created the need for designing an efficient DBMS which could easily handle vast amount of data and provide centralized control over it. So adding information, erasing information, updating that, it was so difficult in manual form. So those complications made people to create an efficient database management system which could easily handle vast amount of data. Example of school. Every year the CBSE, ICSE state board results are declared in the month of May or June. On the examination portal, you simply provide your roll number and you get your name, father's name, detailed marks, percentage and division. How is this all possible without any mistakes? How does a computer manage to remember so much data and display it in a correct format? As you all know, there are a lot of schools all over India. But still, CBSE, ICSE or state board will give the result correctly without any mistake. So it is possible through database software. Example of railway reservation system. In a single day, thousands of trains in India follow their scheduled routes and timings. For reservation enquiry purposes, you can check the availability of seat with respect to distance, fare, travelling class, etc. What manages such a huge real-time data? Do you know what is real-time data? That means the updated data we can get time to time. For example, in GPS, you could see a red line. What does red line means? While going to the unknown place, you will use GPS. In that GPS, sometimes you can see the red line. That means the real-time traffic. It says that the traffic is there in that particular point. How can anyone guess it? It is the video taken by satellite time to time. So we can get update time to time. For example, you have to book the railway ticket from Mysore to Bangalore. Other person from Mandya, he wants to book the ticket from Mandya to Bangalore. How to check the availability of seat? At the time they are booking. So it takes first come first serve method. If the ticket from Mysore to Bangalore had booked means it shows that seat is not available for the person who is booking from Mandya to Bangalore. These are all the huge datas are managing by database management system. I hope now you have understood well about database. Database is a powerful software. You are now very much clear that there is no human intervention in the information retrieval process and no one except the computer can work so fast and accurate for millions of users, bank account holders or students. There is a powerful software which works at a lightning pace. The software is known as a database management system. That is DBMS. The advantages of DBMS. The full form of DBMS means Database Management System. DBMS reduces data repetitions. That means a DBMS helps in controlling duplication of data. The data is stored at one location and it is accessible to all the application programs, thus reducing both cost and space. Imagine that you have a bank account in SBI and that bank located in Mysore. But you want to update some information like Aadhaar information or change of address. But you can't visit Mysore bank. You can also do it in SBI Pandavpur. So that means a data stored in one location can be accessible in other location also. Second one, integrity can be improved. Since the data is centralized, then it would be used by a number of users at a time. Hence it improves integrity. As I told you the example of railway reservation, many people are trying to reserve the seat for them from many places. At a time they are using that application, right? So here integrity can be improved. Database can ensure data security. It provides security to sensitive data by performing checks and giving selective access to users. Suppose if all the applications of that organization is available for each and every person working in that company, if knowingly or unknowingly if they erase the data, then it will be a great loss to the company. So database will give the selective access. In that means database can ensure data security. Backup and recovery management. These are the procedures which are used in protecting a database against data loss or in case of a disk crash occurs. Database has the backup and recovery management in it, so it can ensure the security for data in terms of data loss or in case of disk crash. Data sorting. A collection of data is useless until it is managed in an organized way. A DBMS sorts the data in a particular order which makes it easy to handle. Suppose all the informations are jumbled, then it will be very difficult to access the particular information at a time. But when it is organized, then we can access and retrieve it easily. Sorting means arranging. Data retrieving. By using an efficient DBMS, you can instantly retrieve any data from the database. From wherever you are, you can see your results by using your hall ticket number. As soon as you enter the hall ticket number, it will give the result. So data retrieving means data receiving is also very easy. One more example. Let us take an example of bank. Whenever you use your debit card at an ATM, it provides us the details of your account within seconds. Hence, a DBMS not only helps in storing large amount of data, but also helps in quick retrieval of the same. Types of database. Database can be categorized into two types. First one, flat file database. Second one, relational database. What does flat file database means? It is relatively a simple database system which stores all the data in a single table. A flat file refers to data files that contain records which have small fixed numbers of fields without any structured relationships. Example for flat file database is MS Excel. Children, all of you have been used Excel. We can call it as a workbook also. It is used to store small amount of information. The data you have stored in Excel in one computer cannot be accessed by other computer. It can be accessible only when you send the link of that file or if you share the document. And this flat file database are used for fixed number of fields without any structured relationships. Relational database. A relational database is a type of database that stores data in several tables. These tables are related to one another in such a way that whenever there is a need, that data can be joined and information can be accessed from them at once. The relationship between the different tables can be defined by their common fields. Here, we can give the relationship between two tables by using the common field used in both the tables. The main advantage of using a relational database is that you are not required to enter repetitive information in tables again and again. So it will save your time. And which are all the apps we can use for this? Examples, Oracle, Base and MS Access. Using these applications, we can create database. So I hope you have got so many points about database. Now, before going to the practical part, let us understand what all the components of RDBMS are there. A database contains a specific structure to store data. Let us study about some basic terminologies used in database that will help us to know about the functioning of DBMS. So, which are all the components of RDBMS? Tables, queries, forms and reports. Let us understand one by one. First one, tables. You can see this image. Look at it. You can see fields, rows and columns. This is the picture of student information database. Tables store the complete data in structured manner. The data stored in the form of rows and columns called records and fields respectively. Every table has finite number of columns but it can have infinite rows. That means the columns will be finite but the rows you can use n number of rows. And here rows are called as records and columns are called as fields. Elements of table. Fields. All the columns in a table are called fields. A field contains only one type of information. For example, the field roll number of the table students will store the roll numbers of all the students and will be a common attribute of every student. That means if the column has named as roll number, then the roll number only be entered. Records. The rows in a table are called records. A record contains the values for all the fields that belong to a single person. Example, when you enter the data for all the fields such as roll number, name, address and telephone etc. for a student, it creates a new row in a table which is called a record. The columns have the main field names like roll number, student name, address like that. And the rows have the information. Data. A set of characters that represent a valid value is known as data. Data may be name or number or date of birth or it may be the address of any person. Then what does queries means? As the name suggests, queries are used to ask questions from the database. A database stores vast amount of data but queries help us to retrieve the filtered data based upon some conditions. Queries are also used to perform actions such as delete, update, etc. on the data based upon some criteria. Forms. Forms are the user-friendly interfaces that facilitate the process of entering data in tables and queries. A form has an attractive interface that accepts data from the user and forwards it to a corresponding table or query. So forms are the user-friendly interfaces that help us in the process of entering data in tables and queries. Reports. Reports are used to display selected data in a printable format. Most of the time we have heard this word reports in hospital. Reports are the piece of papers where the informations are printed. Reports collect the summarized data from one or more tables or queries and organize it in a printable form. How to give the relationship? What is the advantage of giving relationship in database management system? Relationships are links that associate a field in one table with a field in another table. As you already know, in relational database, the data will be stored in several tables. And these tables are related to one another in such a way that whenever there is a need, the data can be joined and the information can be accessed from them at once. So in Access, you store data in multiple tables which are related to one another. So when there is a need, we can join the table and retrieve the information. That joining table process is known as giving relationship in database. A relationship works by matching a field with the same name in both tables. In most cases, these matching fields are the primary key from one table that uniquely identifies each record in the second table. When you want to join two tables, at least one data should be same in both the tables. Otherwise, how can we get to know the information stored in second table is related to the person whose information stored in the first table? If those information stored in table 1 and table 2 are related to one person, then only we will give the relationship to those tables. For example, consider the table which is giving information about the teachers who are working in the various schools. Here is the example table. In this table, you can see many fields and records. Fields are the column names. Those column names are teacher ID, teacher name, teacher address, school name, city and contact number. Those rows filled with the information of different teachers. There you can observe 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. Those are the IDs of the teachers. Suppose if we are relating two tables, sometimes 2 or 3 teachers have the same name. When there are same names, same school address, then there will be confusions. So, each and every teachers have been given with a unique ID. One ID that has been given to one teacher cannot be given to another teacher. So, the ID is unique. Let us understand how to create a relationship in database. To create a relationship, make two tables, one with the name teachers info table that holds information about teachers such as teacher ID, teacher name, address and school name. And other with the name teachers details that holds the information about the teacher's ID, city and contact number. When we want to give relationship between two tables, we have to differentiate the information into two tables. So here we are differentiating the whole information into two tables by naming them teachers info and teachers details. Then only it is possible to give relationship between two tables. And when there is a need, we can join them and retrieve information. In teacher details table, you do not have to enter all the fields which have already been entered in the teachers info table. You will only take a common field in the second table, that is teachers details. By making a link on the common field, you can retrieve the desired set of records from both the tables. Here you can see those information stored in the big table has separated and it has stored in two different tables. Here in both the tables, except teacher ID, not all the information has been repeated. You might be thinking why there is a need of separation. Why the separation of information is required? Yes, imagine the process of our school only. There are so many teachers working in our school. Administration team only needs what is the salary for that particular teacher and what is the account number of the teacher. So administration team only needs such information. And the principal ma'am needs the information about teacher name and which are all the subject they are handling. And the transport manager needs the information about teacher's address, pickup and drop timings. So different groups in an institution needs different kinds of informations. So here separation of information is required. So we can do this in DBMS very easily by creating many tables. And also we can relate them by giving relationship. But there should be a unique ID in both the tables to relate them. That unique ID is known as primary key. So the advantage of using relational database is that you do not have to enter repetitive information again and again, and this saves your time. Note, a primary key is a sort of check on the table that every record in the table is unique and does not contain any duplicate data. A table can have only one primary key. A primary key helps us to make sure there is no duplicacy in the table. So children, this is all about DBMS. DBMS made our daily life very easy. We can book tickets from where we are. And this is all about the DBMS. And the whole textbook have the different concepts of DBMS. From the next classes, you will get to know how to create database, how to insert rows and columns, how to fill data in DBMS, how can we create relationship between two tables, and queries, forms, etc. Have a great day. Take care.